Hello YouTube, how are you doing today? Today I wanted to talk about Amberlynn Reid and what her viewers and fans think of her. Now, me personally as a viewer, I found her a couple of years ago. I would say late 2018, early 2019 is when I stumbled upon Amberlynn Reid, but she has been making videos on YouTube for looks like about 7 years. Going all the way back to November 17th, 2013. That's a kind of a long time if you think about it. Now, just to fill in people who are unaware of what we're going to be talking about here, if you're not sure who Amberlynn Reid is, she's a girl who started a YouTube channel right around that 2013 area, and she was quite a bit overweight. Now, her goal for this YouTube channel was going to be to document her weight loss. She really wanted to lose weight, and she wanted to bring you along on a journey so that you could watch and observe her while she lost weight. And normally, this would be a pretty cool idea for a channel. Except that's not what she did. She didn't lose weight, she gained weight. And now she gets quite a bit of people that will talk about her in not very good ways, and she thinks a lot of them are just haters. I wanted to take a look at some of her viewers though over time to see why people don't like the stuff that she does, and to kind of show you that it's not really... It has more to do with how her message has changed and how she's really not being true to her own message, as opposed to people just not liking her. Really quick though, I just wanted to remind you guys that if you like the content that I make, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and left a comment letting me know what you think. Also, don't forget to check the links in the description down below where you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and if you can spare a few bucks, you can buy some Varke merch, and also throw me a few bucks on Patreon if you have a few to spare, of course. I'd really appreciate it. And finally, I also have a few channels listed in my description that you can go and subscribe to that are me talking about things that are just slightly different topics than what we usually talk about on this channel. But enough about all of that stuff, let's continue with our video. The first video that we're looking at here is the nervous plus awkward plus weight loss video. This is Amberlynn's first, or I should say it's her oldest video on the platform that is YouTube. It was published on November 17th, 2013. It has over 100,000 views. She's a bit of a mini YouTube celebrity, she really is. And if you look at her, even her energy in her comment section, it's just a quick little blurb. And if you watch the video, she's kind of got this nervous energy. She seems excited to try something new. She talks about how she's seen other people do these channels, and it seems really interesting, and it seems like something she'd really like to do. So she just wants to follow suit in that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what we want to take a look at here are some of these comments. Now, first thing I'm going to want to do is I do want to do newest first. I want to see when the last person commented on this. Let's take a look at some of the more recent comments on this video here. Now, this is her first YouTube video. This video is almost 10 years old. 13 hours ago, I missed this Amber. She was doing so well with Crystal, and she would hold herself accountable for her mistakes and problems. She was also less annoying, and she gets more entitled and self-absorbed by the day. Anyone watching 2023? We're of course not in 2023. Prayers, I hope you reach your goal, 2021. Weight gain journey. Such a shame, such a waste of life. If anything is proof what YouTube and online fame can do to someone, this is it. I really hope you get better. Skinny Lynn. And she's really not skinny here, she's just a lot skinnier, I would point out. You gotta get out of YouTubing. God, how downhill everything went from here. She's nearly 600 pounds now. This was my favorite. You were the chosen one. It was said that you would lose 200 pounds, not gain them. Little Star Wars quote there for you guys. But if I go to top comments, we see a lot of these are from about 2 to 1 years ago. I'm guessing that's about when this video was a bit more popular and it jumped up in views. It probably didn't have a ton until she got a little bit more popular. If only she knew how badly she'd fail. She's practically bedbound now. This is heartbreaking. That awkward moment when you start a weight loss YouTube channel and gain 200 pounds. She actually had some facial structure and definition left in this video. Now she doesn't even have a neck. It's said that she failed so terribly bad, and I hope that one day finds her way. Now, what's fascinating about this, guys, is these are the top comments on that video. So these are organized based on how many people interact or like with those comments. So these are the comments that are really resonating with people, and a lot of these have 3,000 likes. It's actually pretty crazy. But what I wanted to point out is this. Sure, there were some comments, especially in the newer section, where they were making fun of her for being overweight, or they were at least just referencing how much she weighs. But one pattern that I noticed with almost all of these comments, especially the top comments, they're not really making fun of her weight, at least not for the sake of making fun of her weight. They're making fun of how, not even making fun, they're just pointing out how she failed, how she set out on a journey and she's going the wrong way in that journey, how she said she was going to lose weight, but now she's just been gaining weight. If only she knew how badly she'd fail. She's practically bedbound now. And then this part right here says it all. This is heartbreaking. The top comment. Amberlynn, people aren't hating on you because of your weight. At least not solely because of your weight. And sure, I'm absolutely 100% sure you could find tons of examples of the hundreds of thousands of people that watch you every day that are making fun of you for your weight. People are mean. People are jerks, okay? There's nothing you can do about the people that are jerks. But most people, they don't hate you because of your weight. They don't see an overweight woman and think to themselves, hey, I'm going to hate on her. That's just not what goes through people's heads. And that's not what goes through my head either, Amberlynn. I see somebody who set out on a very specific journey, and that journey didn't work out. You didn't make it there. And you keep doubling down on this journey, and maybe it would be fine if you actually started righting the wrongs, but every time that you double down, you just keep making the same mistakes. And what I mean by that, for you people who aren't familiar with this, is she still claims that her channel is a weight loss journey, and she still will claim that she's trying to lose weight, and then will choose all of the wrong things that lead to her gaining weight. How long can this go on? Really, though? People just quite frankly aren't making fun of how much you weigh, Amberlynn. They say that awkward moment when you start a weight loss YouTube channel and gain 200 pounds. I know that a lot of people will look at that and it's really easy to say, oh, well, they're just making fun of her because she's fat, but I really want this to be clear. The person isn't pointing out that you're fat. The person is pointing out that your goal was to lose pounds, not gain pounds, and you gained 200 of them. It's not about how many pounds you are total, Amberlynn, although of course that doesn't help your health situation, but the real thing that gets under people's craws is that you say you're going to do something and then you don't. And you do it over and over again, but you keep reassuring us that this time will be the right time. But it never is. It never is. And at this point, we're wondering, is it ever going to be? Now, I pulled up what was the most recent video on her channel based on when I was working on this video. And it's, I have a dietitian and therapist. Notice that she didn't capitalize the I for whatever reason. I guess that would just be a little too much work. Whatever, that's a little nitpick. Disastrous GRWM. I always thought that was grow with me, but it's get ready with me. That's totally my bad, though. And I wanted to take a look at what some of her viewers were saying in this, because that's really what I wanted to take a look at. Not what she thinks about herself, but what the people who are trying to communicate with her in her comment section, which is really the only way to communicate with her, what they're trying to say to her. And when someone says something in there and people like what it is, they hit the like button so that they can show that they like what they're watching or what they're doing or what they see. By the way, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on my video. I'd really appreciate it, and it really helps with the algorithm. So first she's got a pinned comment, and I don't even really know what this is. I'm sure it has something to do with the video in question here, but one thing she does as well is she's very sensitive to when people poke fun or when people notice things that she tells us in her videos, and she'll get really defensive about it. And the dumb thing is that Amberlynn, you're making a video that 100,000 people have watched in less than a week, and 1% of those people are going to be mean, and they're going to say not nice things to you. And those are the people that you're responding to and that you're feeding energy to. Like, those are the people who are poking at you not taking your estrogen or whatever your comments about, but you give them more attention than the 99% of people that probably watch you because they like you, Amberlynn, or that wouldn't leave comments like that, or at least aren't being that nitpicky with you. So just her non-reluctance to continue feeding the trolls just blows my mind. Although it could be a ploy to get these 216 extra comments and replies. That's not a small number of comments and replies. That probably helps a ton with the algorithm. Maybe she knows what she's doing more than she lets on this whole YouTube thing. And that's something we should be open to as well. And she should understand that we have to be suspicious about that. So let's look at the top comments on here. Typical Amber. Deciding to stop taking medication for fear of high levels of estrogen leading to cancer, but not scared of cancer enough to change her eating habits and sedentary lifestyle. No one's making fun of you because of your weight there. They're pointing out, Amberlynn, that you're inconsistent with how you talk about your health. Really, they're pointing out how you have inconsistencies and how you rationalize things and how you decide what you do. Because what you're doing isn't healthy. You're going down this continuously unhealthy path and then lying to our face and trying to say to us that it's healthy. It's just, we get sick of hearing a lie. Huh. It looks like people are pretty caught up on this whole estrogen thing. Like I said, I have no idea. There's a detox plan for this week. Dietitian fired. You don't need to be on the same wavelength with dietitians and therapists at this point. Your wavelength is self-destructive, and you need someone on a much different wavelength to intervene so that you can actually experience success and growth. Stop always trying to find someone who is going to enable you to do the same stuff. You want to be able to do things without doing what is required, and because of that, you will never find someone who is on your wavelength. So just knock it off and put in the work. If that isn't just a phenomenal comment to go under on an Amberlynn Reid video, that really hit the nail right on the head. So it sounds like what happened, and I'm just going off of the information secondhand that I'm looking at here, is she got a dietitian or some sort of therapist, and it sounds like the therapist, I'm guessing, had to put up some boundaries. You see, Amberlynn doesn't have any boundaries for herself. I don't think that she has the self-control to tell herself not to eat as much, and it's really unfortunate that it's that way. But she needs a little bit of extra help. She needs some outside help, like a dietitian and a therapist. So she gets these things, but then they have to introduce the boundaries to her, and as soon as she runs into boundaries, she gets scared and bails. And let me show you what this might look like in a real-life situation. Amberlynn really likes to binge, and she blames everybody else for her binging, not herself, but she really likes to binge. So when she really wants to eat, she'll go out and eat and doesn't have the self-control to tell herself no. And so what she needs is somebody in her life that can say, Amberlynn, this is the routine that you need to follow. This is or I'm going to add a little discipline to your life. You are only allowed to eat carrots on Wednesdays, let's say. So Wednesday rolls around, Amberlynn says, oh man, I really want ice cream. And the dietitian says, no, you can't have ice cream. You can only have carrots. And Amberlynn's response is to fire the dietitian. That's my guess as to what it looks like behind the scenes in that whole situation. Like I said, I'm totally just speculating, but we've seen this before, and that's clearly why she chooses to get rid of these people. And what do you really expect from us, Amberlynn, and your viewers as well, when all you do is you try to gaslight them, you try to make them question their sense of reality. They're not making fun of you because of your weight. They're making fun of you, or people aren't getting upset at you and criticizing you because of your weight, I should say. Some are, but most aren't. They're criticizing you because you're doing the opposite of what you're saying that you're doing. They think you're being a hypocrite, Amberlynn, and we get it. You need help, and there's things that you feel at least that are out of your control. So then you need to get some outside help. And at this point, when the outside help tells you something, you should probably believe them, because I think that they know better than you. Now, it's one thing to listen to all of your viewers, especially your top comments, tend to be right, and they tend to be consistently right about you, Amberlynn. But I think that you should really listen to the experts, listen to the dietitians and the therapist, because they're viewing you in the real life, in the real world. And they're probably right, and they probably know more about all of this than you do. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Also, that's really great for the algorithm. I can't stress that enough, how awesome it is. Share the video if you enjoyed it to people who aren't familiar with this or want to know a little bit more about what's going on, or you need to explain how this whole thing, what the relationship is between Amberlynn and her fans. And also, guys, like I said, check out the links in the description below where you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And if you can spare a few bucks, you can follow me on Patreon. I'd really appreciate it. That would really rock if you guys were able to do that. And also, I've got some merch down below with some pretty cool designs, some pretty fun designs. And I've been thinking about adding a few more now. I know that there's quite a few down there to check out, to browse from. And I try to keep I try to keep them cool. I try to keep them hip. So Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, do all the stuff I talked about. But until next time, I'll let you enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.